Whoa, hey, didn't see you coming there. My name is slYnki, and today I'm going to be showing you this guide will help you to avoid the crucial mistakes that newcomers make and instead make all the right decisions. Follow these pro tips and in no time you'll be famous, because having fun is impossible. Let's dive right on in, shall we? The first mistake that all new jumpers make is to watch as many jump videos as they can find and try to get in contact with the people who made them. Odds are you've already watched a jumping video before, since you're now inspired to become a jumper yourself. Don't worry, we all make mistakes. What's important is that you don't learn anything from it. Disregard everything you saw and follow the first step to making a great jumping video. Step 1. Talk to no one. Your goal is to break into the scene, not get an understanding of what people like already. Think of jumping like robbing a bank. Sure, you could burst in there with a gun like everyone else, but running in there with your balls out carrying a flamethrower? That's memorable. Now that you're motivated, it's time to begin landing jumps for your first video. Landing jumps is not as difficult as everyone says it is. Not that you know, since you're forbidden to talk to anyone, of course. All you have to do to find and land jumps is to follow the second step. Step 2. Focus on a single technique and area. If there's one thing that jumpers hate above everything else, it's variety. A lack of variety is one of the most important aspects of making your jump video great. The first thing you need is a map. From experience, I've found the best way of choosing a map is to first load up Halo 3, because really, who plays this fucking game? Load up the map list and pick Last Resort. This is actually what people do. This map is the shit for jumping. As far as you're concerned, the other maps don't exist. The only exception is Epitaph. And maybe Sandtrap. And if you do pick Sandtrap, make sure to get up here or here somehow. Next, you need to pick a single technique. You can either do unaided jumps or stacks. There's a lot of different techniques that fall under unaided jumps. I could go in depth, but being thorough has never been a strong point of mine. Whatever technique you choose, make certain that you do it over and over again. Now it's time for the fun part. Step 3. Start landing jumps. It's time to land some jumps. What you want to do is exhaust every possibility. Jump off of every surface you can and land anywhere. You may be asking yourself right now, but how do I know when I land a good jump? If it takes you less than 2 tries to land a jump, there's a good chance your jump is fucking awesome. If you want your jumps to have that edge over everyone else's, there's a subtle trick to doing so that eludes newcomers. Thankfully, you have me as a guide so you don't miss these things. The trick is to land all of your jumps in forge mode and not remove any spawn points. Bitches love spawn points. This shows your audience that a great deal of thought and effort went into making your video clean and easy to watch. And for free, here's another pro tip for when you're looking for jumps. Always remind yourself that jumpers are a liberal breed in the Halo community and rarely differentiate between a jumping video and a hiding video. So hide your fucking ass off, my friend, you will be loved. When you have all your jumps landed, and you should end up with a comfortable 60, it's time to... Step 4. Start filming. Contrary to what you might think, it doesn't take that much talent to be a good filmer. A camera is a lot like a toaster. It does most of the work for you. The whole idea behind filming is to show off your artistic side, regardless if you have one or not. The main thing to remember is to almost always refuse to show your jumps in their entirety. It's stylish. The idea is for your audience to be thrown straight into the action with all haste, not waste time with silly transitions. The less time your audience has to gauge exactly where you started from, and at times where the fuck you landed, the better. Ideally, you want all your jumps to have at least 3 different camera angles. When filming in first person, and this is extremely important, remember to leave your heads-up display on. People are keenly interested in how many bullets you have left in your pistol, seeing the shield bar, and of course, the crosshair. On an unrelated note, what the fuck is that flying behind my head? A good technique for third-person filming is to start the camera off stationary, then fly it extremely fast in a random direction, and then turn it around again to catch a glimpse of the jump you just performed. Always remember that the right analog stick is your friend when you're filming. Utilize it as much as possible. When you've filmed all your jumps in this fashion, it's time to start putting your video together. And to do that, you, my friend, need a capture card. Step 5. Get a capture card. Though really, any device that captures video is fine. Cameras are more common nowadays than herpes at a brothel, so you shouldn't have any problems getting footage onto your computer. Whatever device you choose, just make sure the capture quality looks like someone is attempting to boil it or wrap it in seaweed. Step 6. Start editing. The program you want is Sony Vegas Pro 9, because everyone edits with that program. The more people participating in a video, the more programs you'll need. But if you've been listening up to now, you shouldn't have any friends, so just Sony Vegas is fine. I have no advice on how to actually obtain the program. That's your business. If you can't get the program, don't worry. Windows Movie Maker is an excellent alternative. Basically, any editing program that can turn the screen completely green works just fine. For those who have never touched an editing program, editing is this great impenetrable fog that seems impossible to pierce and understand, like the female orgasm and Santa Claus. Get ready to high-five yourself, because editing is actually very simple. There are these things called video effects. You can make your video shiny, pixelated, blurry, you can zoom in on stuff for some reason, and so on and so forth. The trick to editing is to abuse as many of the available video effects as possible. It gives the illusion that you know what you're doing, plus you can make your video fucking shake if you want to, and that's awesome. When you're picking out music for your video, an extremely annoying popular song does the trick. Bad techno works as well. If the song of your choosing also incorporates rap by some awkward means, even better. You're going to need a title for your video. A popular way to choose a name is to simply copy the title of the song you chose. This generally results in a lot of names that have fuck all to do with jumping. It's actually a private language we jumpers use to congratulate ourselves on our superiority over everyone else. However, ideally you want a name that is related to movement in some fashion. I'd suggest some bullshit like look before you leap, but I'm pretty sure that's taken already. Whatever name you choose, just make sure to label your video as a jump-tage, because tage is apparently a legitimate, recognized suffix. This is why porn movies are actually called sextages. It's important to neglect syncing your footage with key moments in the song. That is reserved entirely for the unnecessary amounts of text you'll be bombarding your video with. A popular technique is to write the song lyrics on screen, as well as pepper smiley faces throughout your video. This gives videos that little extra flair and also caters to the hearing impaired. All of that should take you about 5 minutes. When your video is all done, it's time to render that bitch. Step 7. Render. Rendering is the process by which you gain a physical copy of your video. It can either make your video look golden and sculpted like Kate Beckinsale's ass cheeks, or make it look like a flat-screen TV after it's been punched a significant number of times. However, quality is not the main concern. Explaining the specifics of video rendering is about as important as tits on a giraffe. The important thing is to get your video out there, so find that render button and click it enough times until you get something that looks like a video, and then upload it. You might think you're done, but there's more to the journey that leads to the true success of a jumping video. And finally, step 8. Be an asshole. There's a common misconception about all mediums of entertainment, and it's that people entertain in the hopes of appeasing an audience. That's a falsehood. The true satisfaction of entertaining comes afterwards, when it's your indomitable right to act like a goddamn asshole. You'll find that after you post your video on various internet forums, there will always be people who don't like your video. If you spent any amount of time in the real world, you'll know that the opinions of others are baseless and don't mean anything. You worked hard on your masterpiece. These people are trolls. Chastise them. There's always that one guy who leaves constructive criticism on your video too. Fuck that guy. You are looking for nothing but positive comments on your work. Operate your YouTube comment section like a fascist regime and display the spelling and grammar of someone beating their keyboard with a dead raccoon, and you will find true success. And that brings us to the end, my friends. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope it leads you to great success in jumping. I have provided my own example video for those who may still be struggling with this guide. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.